but not totally. Like Srila Prabhupada is keeping us away. So when he gave me these BTGs, there was one BTG cover where devotees were all in ecstasy chanting, and photograph was there, and there was a caption that really hit me, and even till today, it's been 38 years, I remember. It said, "We declare our dependence," because as a young man I was always wanting to declare my independence. We all want to be, rebellious, and I am independent. I think my thought should be my way. I, tell our parents, that's the way you think, and I have the right to think the way I think. So I was also like that. When I see this American magazine and these American boys and girls, and they're saying, "I declare my dependence on God." That's what the caption is. We declare our dependence on God. So Krishna very kindly, when he sends the living entity in the material world as children, he keeps us very dependent in order for us to learn and enjoy the lessons from dependence. How wonderful dependence is. When we are dependent on our parents and guardians and teachers, we are so carefree and so wonderful. And when we grow up, then we start to become independent. And that independence also gives us so many responsibilities, and more than responsibilities, anxieties and fears. So one lesson to learn is always in your heart, remain dependent to the mercy of Krishna and Guru and elders. And if we are always dependent in our heart and our thoughts, then they will protect you. The minute you become independent, the protection also leaves. Just like in the family, there might be many brothers and sisters, but the mother always has the eye on the youngest one, because the youngest is most dependent, isn't it? So if we want God to have His eye on us, we must always feel very dependent on Him. And that is why it says, meek and humble is the way that you attract Krishna. So many lessons are there to be learned. From morning to night you are coming here and you are learning philosophical lessons about the material world, lessons about spiritual world. So today I will teach you one small lesson in the form of a story. And it's a nice story and you will like it. There was once upon a time, there was a pious king. And the king was very successful. He was a big king. And he had a Vaishnava minister. His prime minister, his chief minister, was a great devotee and a Vaishnava. And the king had respect for him. But the Vaishnava, every time so many good things were happening to the king, and he would come very excited to his court, and he would tell his entire court with the ministers all the good things that happened to him. I conquered this, I did this, I got so much wealth, like that. So all the other ministers and subjects, they would go, "Oh king, you are so great, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful." They would participate in his joy. But the prime minister, every time he looked at the prime minister for a response, the prime minister would say, "Oh king, whatever happens, happens for the good." So the king said, okay, he's a wise man, and that's every time he only has one comment for me. "Oh king, whatever happens, happens for the good." So one day, the king was feeling a lot of affection for his wife, for the queen, and he started to help her in the kitchen. And so today I will help you in the kitchen to cook. Now, the kings don't know how to cook. They never go in the kitchen. But he was going there, and the queen said, no, you just go and the food is coming. He said, no, I want to help you. So he started to cut some vegetables to help the queen. And while cutting the vegetable, it went ktack, and he cut his finger. So he wrapped it up and everything, and when the cut was there, he came to the court, and then he said, "Oh, you know what happened to me today? I cut my finger helping my wife in the kitchen." And all the subjects, they went, "Oh, king, that's so bad. I hope you're okay, everything's..." And then he looked at the prime minister for a response. And the prime minister said, "Oh, king, whatever happens, happens for the good." So that made king very angry. He said, "I cut my finger, and you are saying, whatever happens, happens for the good. Take this prime minister and put him in jail." He was very angry, so they put the Prime Minister there. That evening, the king was supposed to go hunting, and he would always take his Prime Minister with him. But Prime Minister was put in jail, so he couldn't take him. Therefore, he decided to go by himself. So when he went in the evening, looking for an animal to hunt that he couldn't find, he went beyond the boundaries of his kingdom. And he went deep in the forest. And there he got caught by cannibals. And the cannibals would not recognize his authority because they were not part of his kingdom. So the cannibals caught him, and it was a dark moon night. And every dark moon night, the cannibals would look for a human being to sacrifice to Kali. So here was a nice, young, strong man. So they caught him, and they said, okay, strip him naked and let's sacrifice him to Mother Kali. And the king was thinking, oh my God, now what? My life is going to end. So they tied him up, they stripped him naked, and they have a system that they check the body of the person they are sacrificing. He must not have any cuts or bruises on his body, otherwise Kali doesn't accept. So when one man was checking, then he told the chief, he shouted out, he said, Chief, no sacrifice tonight. So why? He's a wonderful person. He said, no, he has a cut on his finger. Oh, okay, let him go. Next night we will do. Tonight we cannot do. After 15 days, we will find another human being. So that man, the king thought, oh my God, he was so right, that wise Prime Minister of mine. Whatever happens, happens for the good. And he said, if I didn't have this little cut, today my neck would be split. So he goes back, hurriedly back to his kingdom, and he invites the Prime Minister back, and he apologizes to him in front of everybody. And he said, you were so right. Your philosophy is so correct. Whatever happens, happens for the good. It's just that at the moment we cannot realize it. And then he told the entire story that today I would not be here in front of you had it not been for this little finger cut. So everybody was, oh, the Prime Minister is so wonderful. You know, such a wise man. And he said, whatever happens, happens for the good. But then the king got a little more. He said, wait a second. He said, I got a cut, and therefore I saved my neck. That was good for me. But you got put into jail. How was that good for you? He said, oh king, if I was not put into jail, I would be the one traveling with you. And I have no cuts. That would be cutting my neck. So whatever happens, happens for the good. Yes? So this is a part of our philosophy in Krishna consciousness. We always remain satisfied, live in the present, never hanker for the future, never lament for the past, and make the best use of our day thinking whatever happens, happens for the good. Because Krishna controls everything, every situation in our lives. Yeah? Hare Krishna.
Just before the kirtan, I just wanted to offer a gift to each of you.
Hare Krishna. You know, we don't need gifts from children. We should be giving them gifts.
You just did?
कोई बोलेगा क्या? चलो, we have a lunch appointment. Hare Krishna, thank you. Oh. These are really good. So we would like to also take a group picture with all the children. We can put it on our Facebook, and then we can they can all do keep
Stand
talking.
on each side of the shoes.
Yeah, like that. The bigger children can stand, maybe sit or something, and make two layers, sitting and standing, and that will complement. We can have it. Some can lean, and then some can sit, and then some can stand. That way we'll all fit into the picture. Yeah, someone organizing, one of the bigger girls should organize.
Okay, scoot all the way.
What about the